Thank you. You may be seated. Good evening and welcome to the WTI graduation. It's been a wonderful ride to get here, hasn't it, graduates? You guys have walked through some of the most difficult times in recorded history, but here you are today, ready to celebrate, ready to take on the world, because you already have, and you succeeded. Congratulations. If you wouldn't mind joining me in a word of prayer tonight, I'd like to ask the Lord's blessing upon you. Bow your heads with me if you would, please. Our Lord and our God, we stand before you tonight and we give thanks for these graduates. We thank you for their accomplishments, their determination, and the tenacity it took to achieve these hard goals. We ask, Lord, that you bless them on their path from this point forward. May your light shine upon them. May you make straight their path, and may they find solace in your love and care. We thank you in all that's holy. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Good evening, and welcome to WTI's 2020 graduation ceremony. We will now have words of inspiration from two of our heating we had for them.
I mean every question, too. WTI is much more than just a school. It's a place where you can come and get help with anything in life, including your schoolwork, career, transportation. They have a food pantry. You can make friends. And sometimes there are forced friendships.
Not very often do you find a place that truly cares about you as a person and wants to make sure you're okay along with everything and succeed in your career choices. They made us feel that they would jump through hoops for us.
We learned so much while coming here, along with interrupting laughter. I know the HVAC department had tons of inappropriate times and a lot of Taco Tuesdays. They helped us with learning experiences, plus how to handle certain situations out in the field. We enjoy coming to school every night to learn new things, but also to have great company with everybody.
It's nice to see the people that you went to school with want to see you become successful and support you after you're done at WTI.
Being a student ambassador here for WTI wasn't just only to be somebody to help people. We were also there to listen to anybody that didn't feel like they can go to the teachers for questions that couldn't understand anything. It's nice to be able to help your peers grow and see them become good students, technicians, soon to be nurses. Today, I would like to thank you guys for coming here and finishing, and remember that this was your first step in succeeding your life. There's much more goals to reach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick and Taylor. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tiffany Anderson as our keynote speaker this evening. Dr. Anderson is a longtime Kansas resident and has been a public school educator for over 26 years, with most of that time spent as superintendent. She was nationally recognized as one of Education Week's 16 leaders to learn from, and in 2016 became the first African-American female superintendent of Topeka Public Schools. A fierce advocate for making college and career accessible to all in the community, she was appointed in 2019 by Governor Kelly to the Post-Secondary Technical Authority as part of the Board of Regents. And in 2020, the governor appointed her to co-chair the Commission on Racial Equity and Justice. Since Dr. Anderson's arrival in Topeka, the district has earned 3 National Magna Awards. Dr. Anderson serves on numerous boards in Topeka, including the Topeka Community Foundation, Rotary, and the Greater Topeka Partnership. She has received several awards, including the Lifetime Achievement Award for Volunteerism, the Salute to Excellence for Women Award, the 2020 Kansas Icon in Education. She was also honored at the 2017 Oscars for the People with a Purpose Award. Dr. Anderson earned her doctorate from St. Louis University and was later presented with the Stellar Performance Award by the St. Louis American. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Tiffany Anderson.
Good evening. It is a privilege to be here with you this evening, and my words will be brief. Those that have heard me speak before know that I generally don't speak from a piece of paper. Normally, I pray before I go on stage, and whatever comes out is meant exactly for you. In this particular space, because at times after ceremonies, they will ask, what did you say, or want to quote, or something to that nature, they often will ask for some kind of written comments of what you think you might say. And so I'm going to stick as closely as I can to that, but I am so proud of you. I am so very proud. I will tell you, as I was walking in here today, I came across and moved right past a staff member from Topeka Public School. She actually is one of the award-winning staff members that heads our nutrition services, has known around the state, locally, and nationally. It is by no accident that her son is in this graduation. The apple does not fall far from the tree. You see, I was interested. I wanted to know about the speakers today. I asked, were there some student speakers who just stood out in their class? And since I'm in the very back, I didn't get a chance to see who you were, but I heard your words. I wanted to know a little bit about those young men that were speaking today, and a few words were shared with me. If I could ask Nicholas and Taylor, can you stand for a minute so I can see who you are? Okay, it was a young lady. All right, I'm so glad I asked you to stand. So Taylor and Nicholas, here's what I heard about you. And I asked you to stand so you can allow for all eyes to be on you for just a moment. What I heard was that both about you, first of all, Nick, as opposed to Nicholas, that you're a hard worker, someone that all people can count on, someone that just naturally helps people. They said that you were someone who's willing to train anyone that you come across, and your fellow classmates and colleagues alike have said these comments about you again and again. Taylor, I will tell you, I should have known that you were a woman because they said you were outgoing, like me, okay? They said that Taylor is outgoing, everyone's friend. Taylor, they said you are a born leader, a born leader. You're already standing out as I'm looking at you and I'm wearing my dark mask and you have people wearing the green mask and you're wearing bright pink like you're smiling from ear to ear. A woman that stands out in front of the crowd, and you do have a beautiful smile that you just kind of peered out at me. It said that both students were ambassadors, top of their class, well-liked by staff and faculty. They were involved with the school and showed tremendous potential in their field. My hats are off to you. Let's give them another applause from when they were on stage. You may be seated. You see, young people, we have to take the time to make sure that we recognize excellence, and we're standing in a room of excellence. All of you are an example of excellence before us. You see, our community is better because you're in it and because of your accomplishment this evening. My few minutes to say to you, I'll just give you a few lessons. And some of you who don't know me, I always wear tennis shoes, and here's why. Because I can't do my work in heels. In order to go through the streets in Topeka and to connect with students, I must wear the attire that's meant for the purpose of what I'm doing. Doesn't matter what people say about me or how I look. What matters is how I serve. And that's my message to you this evening. Service above self. See, that's what's so important about being at WTI. It focuses on service. You know, many institutions might focus on parades and pride of all kinds of things about the school, but Wichita Technical Institute focuses on service. How you can leave your field, go right into a career, and be of service to the community. How you can literally change someone's life as a medical assistant. How you can actually go into the IT field and computer technology and make the difference for that company immediately in that day. How you can go to someone's home who's been burning up all summer and fix that HVAC and change their experience in 24 hours. You were built to serve. So I said no to every other speaking engagement because we're in a pandemic. But this is the one that I said yes to be in a room filled with leaders who were built to serve. It is truly my honor. So my comment to you is service above self. That is the most important thing. You see, I didn't realize that I would be a superintendent, much less the first African-American female superintendent. Certainly didn't think I'd get any award or be at the Oscars or meet President Obama or any of those things. I didn't think that that's where I'd be. I just graduated wanting to serve. But if you put service above self, your future is far brighter than you can ever imagine. Believe me, I'm a walking testimony of that. The other item that I want to share with you in this brief amount of time is a lesson that I've learned many times over. You know, when we leave this space and we get ready to take this next step, I want you to recognize that many of you were already in the world of work and perhaps went through various other programs and came back to this institution to show resiliency, to show that you can do it, to go gain that next piece in your career. Many of you came here straight from high school. Some of you decided to take another career path. Whatever it was that led you to WTI, you are leaders. You are the ones that are going to change what Topeka looks like. You are the ones that are showing resilient, because a lot of people can't show that level of resiliency through a pandemic. Do you know how many students that dropped out of college because of the pandemic? But not you. You stood in there, you've gotten through the year, and you're stronger for it. I'll tell you a little story as I kind of close out in terms of this piece of resiliency, and I know that we're really here to celebrate you, so I'm going to keep these comments as short as I can. I will tell you that all things, I believe, happen on purpose, and I believe you're positioned on purpose. It's no accident who you're sitting next to. It's no accident that I saw one of the top leaders in the state in this room whose son is graduating that oversees nutrition services. It's no accident that you're going into the field that you're going into. All things happen on purpose for you, and you are positioned on purpose. I'll tell you, not too long ago, about a year ago, actually it was right before the pandemic, maybe a year and a half, I was at an event. And I went to this event because it's called Qualtrics. It's a data company, and they flew a few different superintendents there. And I was one of those, and I only went because Oprah Winfrey, I'll be really shallow, that was the speaker. So I went because I wanted to hear Oprah Winfrey. And when I got there, and former President Obama was there as well speaking, but I really wanted to hear Oprah Winfrey. And so when I got there, the line, there were 15,000 people in line. And when you got into the stadium, way in the back of the room were most of the seats. And so all the other superintendents and everyone else sat in the back of the room. I came to the front of the room, and they had these seats marked off, like these up here, and it said VIP. And I sat down, and I put my little Topeka Public Schools badge on, and someone said, "Oh, ma'am, these are VIP." I said, "Oh, I know, I'm a VIP." She said, "Ma'am, how do you know Oprah Winfrey?" Well, the first day was President Obama. She actually said, "How do you know President Obama?" I said, "Oh, his grandmother," I try not to lie, so I said, "His grandmother lived in Kansas," which is true. She says, "Oh." I said, "Oh, don't you know I'm from Topeka? I'm Dr. Anderson." She says, "Oh, of course, you're Dr. Anderson." Lady didn't know me from anybody else. "You're Dr. Anderson." And I said, "Yes, hello." I don't know why I started talking like I had an English accent, but I did. I said, "Hello, hello." And so she said, "Oh my God, please have a seat. Everyone, have you seen Dr. Anderson?" There were other people that were there sitting up front that were known people to people who are TV watchers, you know. So she was introducing me to those folks. So the next day I came in, and everyone said, "How'd you get a VIP seat?" I just walked to the front because I know that I'm a VIP. You are a VIP. I took the seat up front because I know that I am meant to be in the room, and I want you to remember you are meant to be in the room. Any room that you walk in, you go right on up to the front, and you make sure that you know you are a WTI graduate. You are a leader. The very next day, I came with the same people. They said, "Well, that's not going to work again. They're going to not have you up front." The second day was Oprah Winfrey. And so the second day, where do you think they went? They went to the back of the room. So often, people automatically go to the back of the room. Where did I go? Back up to the VIP. And she said, "Oh, Dr. Anderson." Everybody knows Dr. Anderson. "Do you know Dr. Anderson?" None of these people knew me. "Oh, yes, of course, Dr. Anderson." And I sat right up front, just smiling at Oprah Winfrey. I know she thought I was crazy as all get out. So here's what I'm sharing with you. I chose to make sure that I was at the front of the room. Just like the students that stood up, Nick and Taylor, that made sure that they were ambassadors of the class. Just like everyone in this room that's graduating despite a pandemic. You are at the front of the room. You are the VIP of Topeka, the Topeka community. So again, I want to say congratulations. Whether you are returning from a long career, whether you're coming straight from high school, we are so proud of you. Wichita Technical Institute graduates, a nationally recognized credential. Congratulations, and again, remember, you are VIPs meant to be the leaders of the community and in the front of the room. Thank you for seeking to serve first.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. Kimberly Culture will now present special awards.
Good evening. At WTI, we have 2 awards to recognize efforts of our students: the Director's Academic Honor Roll and the Letter of Excellence. To earn all of those awards, our students have to have a GPA of 98% or above and have conduct and ethics that exemplify professionalism. The following graduates maintained these standards throughout their entire program at WTI. As I announce your name, please stand. Lawrence Cohen. Brandon Markham. Please join me in congratulating these graduates with applause. Thank you. At WTI, we have peer-selected student ambassadors that represent our student body. Our ambassadors help assist new students by attending open houses, orientation, and other events. For our current students, our ambassadors help with tutoring, supporting the students, and are even available if they just need someone to talk to. Please stand at this time if you were a student ambassador during your time at WTI. Join me in applauding these individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. We will now present our WTI 2020 graduates. Will the WTI Computer Technology and Network Administration graduates please stand?
Joseph Thomas. Jesse Thompson. Bob Mather. Al Graves.
Will the WTI Heating, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration graduates please stand?
Nick Flores. Taylor Hughes. Brandon Markham. Rayshawn Cato. Lawrence Cohen.
And will the will the medical assistant graduates please stand?
Dominisha White. Chelsea Kress. Othel Jones. Magdalena Collins. Kiwi Madison. Mackenzie Redmond. Desiree Wiegand. Nicole Holland. Lourdes Flores. Michelle Perez. Sunshine Roberts. Jordan Williams. Ariel Blackwell.
Thank you for attending WTI's 2020 graduation. All graduates, please stand and move your tassels to the left. Congratulations and good evening.